So let us start seated and just come to a comfortable seat. You can sit on a cushion if you like that. Oh, here's Monica. So sitting on a cushion lifts up the hips just a little bit, but allow the shoulders to soften and relax down the back. And really think of the head being nice and relaxed on top of the shoulders there. So you can take a mudra if you like. We've been working on Hakini mudra this week, which is the thumb and the fingers all together. And then that just rests down into the lap, just near the lower abdomen. And the wrists are resting on your thighs. So close the eyes, relax through the facial expression. And start to find some steady breaths in and out through the nostrils. So just breathing in and just breathing out. And as you start to find your breath become more steady, more relaxed, nothing is forced with that breath. We breathe every single day, so you don't really need to focus on it too much, but observe and notice how you are breathing. And there's no judgment needed. And our breath guides us through our day, and it guides us through our yoga practice. So try not to hold the breath at any point. Really, again, just soak into this regular, easy, rhythmic breath. And this particular restorative practice is for easing tension and any lower back pain that we might be experiencing if we sit down a lot or we bend down a lot. So just take your awareness now to any parts of the body that you might notice feel tight, feel tense. And use the exhale breath to start to relax the tension just a little bit. And maybe you find that you have more than one area of the body that feels tight or tense, so you can move around the body, moving the breath to those areas. And once you feel that you feel completely tension free, start to focus on your facial expression. Relaxing out the forehead, the area around the temples, around the eyes, in the center of the forehead, between the eyebrows. Relax the tension in the jaws and the teeth. Soften through the whole face. And start to lift the corners of the mouth up nice and lightly so that you can introduce a little smile. And you feel the brightness spread across the cheeks, spread up to the eyes, and spread across the forehead. And then start to release the Hakini mudra, bringing the palms together. All fingers, thumbs, heels of the palm all connect. And start to create some warmth between the hands as you rub the hands together. And then taking the hands and just cupping the eyes. Notice the darkness there underneath the palms. And then start to blink the eyes open. The light starts to come in through the cracks of the hands, and then you can start to take the hands away. And let's just get a little bit of movement into the body and before we come into our first posture. So let's start with a cat and cow. So if you have a blanket, you might like to place that underneath the knees. You might be on carpet like me, so that's okay. And really just take the hands out just a little bit longer than they would be normally. So normally we would say put the wrists underneath the shoulders. So here you can start to come back a little bit and round through the spine, dropping the hips, dropping the chest a little bit, and then bending at the elbows and pulling yourself back, rounding into cat. So I want this to be nice and gentle and soft. For you, it doesn't have to be anything forced. Good. Use the breath to guide you through the movements. So as you come forward, the hips might start to drop, and then pull the hips back towards the heels, rounding up once more through cat. So you're really getting the wrists, elbows, shoulders, spine, hips, and lower legs involved. And then nice and slowly just release back into a wide leg child's pose. Take the knees nice and wide, and then bring the head onto the back of the hands here as you relax through the spine. Soften through the chest. And take a moment here as the head connects to the back of the hands and you feel quite connected to the ground. Take a moment to think of what benefits, what you would like to receive from this practice today, this restorative yoga for easing tension, and also our Yoga Nidra, which will follow. How do you want to feel when you walk away from your mat this evening? Refreshed, replenished, rejuvenated, restored, nourished, soothed, calm, relaxed, peaceful, tranquil. Nice and slowly start to bring the hands in front of you to push up as you gently and slowly roll up through the spine. Come up to kneeling, and let's come into our first posture, which is a supported constructive rest. So you're going to need your strap for this one. And if you've got a strap that's got a little loop already, extend that loop so that it's long enough to go over the top of your thighs. So we're going to place our legs through that loop. Then you can pull the strap on into the center and you can Just relax the knees together there. They don't have to be too tight. If you have that blanket that you had underneath the knees, you might like to just pull that now underneath your back. And if you have another blanket, you might like to use that to support the head and neck. But we're going to lie back. So you've got blanket under the head and neck, blanket under the back, and the knees are supported and held by your strap. It's not too tight. There might be a little gap between the knees, but really allow the knees to soften together and the feet might start to turn out. So take the arms out to the side of you, palms the face up. Relax through the face, the chest, the shoulders, and now the spine. As you close the eyes and soften into our first posture. And as you lie here, notice all parts of the back body connected to the earth. Shoulder blades, upper, middle back, maybe the lower back, pelvis, soles of the feet, backs of the arms, backs of the hands. And during restorative postures, which we hold for a number of minutes, try to remain present in this moment where you are now on the mat. Try not to let the mind wander, and if it does and you notice and you're aware of those thoughts creeping in, return back to your physical presence, how it feels as you lie here, and also your breathing. Returning back to the awareness of any tension and tightness that you might be holding within the body. Allowing the exhale breath to travel there to release and relax. And have this feeling of letting go into the mat. Giving in to gravity. Maintain presence just for the last couple of minutes here. Trying not to become distracted by external thoughts. Really give yourself into the restorative practice fully. Take a deep breath in and a big sighing breath out. Gently bring movement back into the hands, into the wrists. Move the head left and right. And then gently bring the knees a little closer so that you can take the strap away and draw the knees in towards the chest. Create a little bit of space between the knees so that you can drop the thighs down either side of the waist. And just rock from side to side there as you just release out through the lower back. And then you might like to circle the knees around as you release into the hips. And all of this is nice and slow and controlled, and only do what feels good. Take your time to roll over onto your right side. And just pause there for a moment in this embryo fetal position. And our next posture is a side lying stretch, which we will need a thick pillow or a bolster underneath the waist. And again, maybe using one of your blankets between the feet. So gently press yourself up. We'll start on the right side. And if you have got two blankets, you can use one underneath the hip. And then you can use your bolster in the center, and your other blanket goes underneath the feet. If you've only got one blanket, then you can choose where you might need it most. But a side lying stretch, you want to get your waist all the way over the bolster here, and the knees can be straight or bent, whatever feels good. Reaching the underneath arm out, resting the head onto the upper arm. Really give into the weight, into the bolster. And if you like, the left arm can stay on top of the hip, or it can come in front of the face. Or if you want to go a little bit deeper into this side stretch, then lifting the arm up over the head, and it meets the other palm. So we're not in this posture for as long as we were in the constructive rest, but I want you to really give all of your weight, or as much as you can, into that bolster. If you feel overstretched, over forcing, just take the arm back and support yourself that way. And keep finding that release of breath to let go of any tension as you are here. We're just here for one more minute. And then nice and slowly take that deep breath in, deep breath out, preparing to move. And if you can, roll over onto your belly to change sides. So just transition nice and carefully without too much effort. Extending the underneath arm, resting the head on the upper arm, choosing the option of bent or straight legs, and then choosing the option of keeping your right hand at your hip or bringing it over the head and allowing it to rest on the opposite palm. Give back in to gravity here as you take that deep breath out. Softening as much as you can in the legs, the torso, and the arms. And taking that breath in and slow, long, deep breath out, releasing the hand back to the hip if it was over the head, and gently pressing yourself up onto your forearm. Slide your bolster or your cushion away and just lie back down. Fetal position once more without any prop there. And then gently turn around onto your belly. Come back up into tabletop. You might be facing the other way. That's okay if your mat isn't sideways on to the screen. So turning around if you need to. And just start to circle out the hips this time, really getting into the waist. So moving hips to the right and to the left of your mat 3 or 4 times. And then circle the other way. This is where we come into our supported pigeon. So bringing the right foot forward and just work into a little bit of a lizard and half monkey first of all. So dropping through the hips as much as is comfortable there, and then gently pulling back, releasing into the back of the right leg. So dropping forward and pulling back just 2 or 3 times. And if your hands aren't quite meeting the mat, you can always just slide in blocks or a bolster there. Now, if you've got 2 bolsters handy, great. If one bolster is all you have and you might have a cushion or a blanket, we're going to use the bolster underneath your groin or your hips, and that's going to bring you into your supported pigeon, so you're nicely lifted. If you do have a second bolster or that cushion, then that comes underneath the torso or the head. So you can lie down into supported pigeon here. And we're here for a number of minutes, so really do find a place of comfort with both of your props, whether it's a cushion or a bolster underneath the upper body and the head as well. And again, it really is down to gravity to let go here. If you feel that this is too much, keep it a little bit upright. You know, you might be on your forearms here. And if you have that blanket still underneath the back leg, protecting the knee there. So soften into the posture, really give in. And don't fight the resistance. Give into it with each exhale. Keep giving in to your exhale breath to let go. Letting go as much as you can. Begin to take that breath in and breath out, preparing to move. Start to bring the hands back underneath the body as you gently press yourself back up. Just lengthen the spine there for a moment, dropping into your prop. Good work, well done. And nice and slowly transition to the other side. So you might just simply bring the left forward and move the right back, but not forgetting that we have to just do the little lizard and monkey. So dropping into the hips and then gently pulling the hips back, straightening through the front leg. You don't have to fully extend that leg when you pull back. It can be nice and soft through the back of the knee, just feeling what the hamstring is saying to you. And then preparing to come into your supported pigeon on the other side, bringing that left foot in front of you, dropping the hips down onto that bolster and using your cushion or your other bolster to lie on. So if you found that the hold on the other side was a bit too long, a bit too intense for you, just make sure that you don't go too deep too soon and you allow the breath and gravity to take you into the posture deeper. So never go to your maximum first off. Work up. But with restorative practice, we only really want to be feeling something at about a 3 or a 4 level. It's not yin and it's not hatha. Slow, steady breaths. Really focusing on this feeling of letting go, relaxing, and complete surrender. Without forcing yourself into a place of pain and discomfort. Those are not the feelings that we want to receive from a restorative practice. And you're here for just 1 more minute. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out, preparing yourself to move, bringing the hands back, lengthening up the spine, dropping into the hips just a little bit more there. And take your time to come out of the posture. You might just bring the back leg forward and just take a moment to just sit and extend the legs out. Well done. How are you feeling? Good. So we're going to come down onto our backs once more. And this is where we have our supported bridge. So again, using your bolster or cushions or thick pillows. You might like to have, again, blankets underneath the spine, underneath the neck. Make sure those rolls aren't digging in anywhere though. And we're going to bring the bolster underneath your hips. So really just allow, again, the hips to be really heavy, softening into your prop. And you can drop the knees together, or they might just be a little bit apart. Relax into the toes, relax into the feet and the ankles. Allow the arms to come out to the side of you with the palms face up, and just soften into the chest and shoulders, keeping the neck nice and long here. You're not dipping the chin too much in towards the chest or lifting it too high to the sky. Trying to relax any tension here. Give into gravity, into the bolster, into the mat. And if you like, just for the last minute or so, maybe a few breaths, you can just lift the knees, lift the feet away from the mat. So the thighs might just come up towards the belly a little bit. And you might extend the legs up towards the sky. Just give in to this extended leg, supported shoulder stand. Relax the toes. Soften through the feet, the ankles, the calves, the knees, the legs. Feel all of the weight coming down into the hips and pelvis, the lower back. And gently release the feet back down to the floor. Press into the feet to lift the hips and slide the bolster away from underneath you. Roll down through the spine. Take a moment to soften without the bolster being there. Extend the legs all the way along the mat for the moment in Shavasana. And we just have one more posture, right and left, to do before we come into our Yoga Nidra, which is our supported spinal twist. So having a blanket underneath the hip helps. You can use your bolster lengthways along the mat. We're going to be bringing our chest down onto the bolster, and we're going to be in this supported twist. Now, if you do have that blanket, it's always quite nice to place that between the knees, because then the hips aren't dropping down into one another. So support the underneath hip if you like with a blanket, because that gets quite hard. And we're going to pull our chest parallel to the bolster or your thick pillow and cushion, and then you can simply hold on to the edges and you can turn to one cheek. So I'm hoping that your belly and your chest are nice and flat on the bolster or the pillow, and your head is supported as well. Good. Really give in to the twist here. Soften through the face, the chest, the shoulders, the back, the belly, the buttocks, the hips, the legs, the feet. Taking a deep breath in, deep breath out. Just gently use the hands to just push yourself up and move to the other side. So I'm just going to move my bolster over so I can still face you. Blanket between the knees gives that little bit of lift. And just start to square yourself off to the bolster on the other side. So making sure the belly and the chest are lying fully on your bolster or your pillow and your cushions, and making sure the head is supported as well. And you can just hug your pillow or your bolster here. It's quite a nice, comforting posture to end with. And quite simple spinal rotations like this, without too much effort, are really beneficial in easing tension into the spine and releasing lower back pain. Taking that deep breath in and that big deep breath out. Before you start to move, bring the hands back by the side of the bolster to gently press yourself up. Slide the bolster away, roll down, and just lie back now into Shavasana. Draw the knees gently in. Roll, massage out through the spine, circle into the hips. And let us prepare for our Yoga Nidra. So please find yourself warm, comfortable, turning lights off, dimming lights, using eye pillows, using blankets so you don't get cold. It always helps to place those bolsters and cushions underneath the knees to support the lower back. You might like to have a rolled up blanket underneath the neck. That's always nice, or a cushion there. And it's just really important to be as comfortable as you can in your Shavasana so that you're not distracted by the position that you've chosen. And I know some of you have already had a Yoga Nidra, but if you haven't, Yoga Nidra is a yogic sleep. And at points through a Yoga Nidra, you might feel like you're drifting off. You might be fully conscious, but it's always about giving in to relaxation, mental and emotional, as well as physical, but trying to remain conscious. So at times you may feel very aware of what's being said, and at other times you may feel like you've drifted off. Yoga Nidra takes you through layers of consciousness. So take a few deep breaths now to help yourself settle into your Shavasana and into the floor. And in this process of deep relaxation of Yoga Nidra, try to stay awake, but don't concentrate too hard. Don't overthink it. Just remain relaxed, attentive, and aware of my voice and follow my instructions. Expand your lungs and take deep breaths in and out. And before we go through the process of Yoga Nidra, we need to set our intention in order to align the unconscious and the conscious mind. So take a moment to consider your personal goal. What is it right now that you want to achieve? As you create a sentence or a statement, a sankalpa that best describes your goal or your intention. And this goal is as if it were happening now in the present moment. I am, and your goal. And as you find your intention, it's always quite good to visualize this as being true and real, and allow yourself to imagine and really feel what this intention is to be true. And repeat this positive statement to yourself now 3 times. Now I'll take you to a place in your body. And when I do so, you feel your awareness there and consciously feel yourself relax that place in the body. Bring your attention to your toes. Relax your toes. Your feet. Relax the soles of the feet. Ankles. Relax your shins. Calves. Knees. Thigh. Buttocks. Relax your hip bones. Your hip joints. Your pelvis. Relax the lower back. Relax your lower back. Relax your lower back. Middle back. Soften your belly. Rib cage. Upper back. The shoulder blades. The tops of the shoulders. Relax the chest. Soften the neck. The arms. Wrists. Hands. Relax into the fingers and the thumbs. Relax the jaw. Soften the teeth. Relax the tongue in the mouth. Soften your face. Relax the facial expression. Cheeks, nose, eyes, forehead are all relaxed. The temples soften. And relax the top of the head. Relax your ears. And even your hair. Bring your attention to the spinal column. Relax through the entire spinal column. Take your attention to the whole body. As you take a deep breath in, relax the whole body as you breathe out. Relax your whole body. Relax your whole body. Now feel the body light as a feather, as if floating. The body is so light. Now feel the body heavy. So heavy. As if sinking into the mat, into the earth. Now recall the sensation of feeling very cold and remember what it felt like to be feeling cold to the bone on a freezing cold day. Feel the sensation of cold to the bone. Now recall the sensation of heat, warmth, and remember a time when you felt heat, when you felt very hot, baking hot, like the sun shining down on you, warming you to the bone. And let go of that feeling of heat. Visualize the inside of the body being totally pitch dark black, like the darkness of the night sky, pitch black. And now visualize the body being bright light, glowing white light, inside and out. Breathe deeply and let go of the feeling of the bright light. Feel your body expand with each breath. Wide open, like the sky with no boundaries. Your body is expanding with each breath. And now recall your intention. Bring this intention back into the mind's eye as you visualize the intention as being true and real. And repeat your positive statement of affirmation 3 times to yourself now. Rest assured that recalling your intention here, your goal, your sankalpa, is sure to make it into a reality, as if it is happening in the present moment. And it's already happening. Breathe deeply, relax, and let all tension wash away from your mind and body. There's no holding anywhere. The practice of Yoga Nidra is now complete, and you can start to deepen your breath as you bring your awareness back into your surroundings, back onto your mat, back into the body by bringing soft and gentle movement into the hands, the feet, the head. And take as long as you need to awaken from Yoga Nidra, choosing to stretch or drawing the knees in and rolling and massaging out through your spine. Taking your time to roll over to one side and just pausing there. Stay in that comfortable, relaxed, safe place. And taking time to bring yourself up to a comfortable seat. Maybe you choose to sit on the cushion or the bolster. And just allow your eyes to gently close. You don't need to take a mudra or anything. I want you to just sit there and just be and to feel. And really observing your own mind, your own body, your own sensations and experience of the practice that you have completed. Restorative yoga for easing tension and releasing any lower back pain, as well as a Yoga Nidra to set your own intention. And you can take that intention into the rest of the evening, into the rest of the week ahead, or the rest of the month, or the rest of the year. That intention can be lifelong intention, not just for this moment. Observe your breath as you bring the hands in towards the heart center. Relax the shoulders, soften through the neck, and relax the facial expression once more. Start to turn the corners of the mouth up into a gentle and soft smile. Always thank yourself for giving yourself this time on the mat for your own well-being. The hands are at the heart center for clear and loving intentions, lifting the thumbs up to the lips for clear and loving words. And the thumbs come to the eyebrows for clear and loving thoughts. I thank you. Namaste.